Oh, yes.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, I'm excited to finally be bringing you a review for the Masters of the Universe Origins Wave 1 figure, Beastman. So I've finally done it. Finally managed to track this guy down. He's the last Wave 1 figure that I've received, and honestly, one of the last figures of everything that's currently out there that I've managed to pick up. Unfortunately, this is the international packaging one. I had to get this one from an international seller because it was just the only real affordable way to pick one up. So it is sadly going to come with, all the missing print and stuff that the international packaging does. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's still Beastman. I still finally have it. So if you've seen my reviews before, you know this goes. We're going to take a look at Beastman's packaging. Then we'll open it up. We'll get a quick glance at his mini comic. And then we'll see Beastman himself. Check out his posability, his accessories. Naturally, I'll be doing plenty of group shots and comparisons today, and then at the end of the video, I'll give my final thoughts. So Beastman comes in your standard MOTU Origins packaging. You get the logo up here, his name underneath. If this were the North American packaging, it would have his title down below his name, but sadly it doesn't. Then we get the figure in a nice little blister card. He looks honestly kind of goofy looking. It's got a weird head, but yeah, it is what it is. You can see his little flail or whip accessory behind him and the mini comic also. Then we flip it around and you can see his artwork, which is really cool looking. It's very, very well done. And what it is Beastman using his powers over beasts to command them to attack. So you got all sorts of stuff. You got some lion looking thing. It looks kind of like a wyvern, I think it is. You get these weird little gargoyle guys, you get a pteranodon there, and you get this goofy looking dinosaur thing. So all in all, pretty cool. You can also see his whip kind of winding its way around the picture, even though it kind of cuts out of the edges a bit. Sadly, because it's the international packaging, there is no flavor text here, so we'll just have to use our imagination. Then over here you get your action features, so it shows you how to put his whip in his hand, and then how to twist him around for battle poses and all that fun stuff. Then we get our Wave 1 cross cells. You get your ever-present He-Man and Skeletor, as well as Teela and Man-at-Arms for the good guys, and Evelyn and Beastman himself representing the bad guys. So Wave 1 here is pretty much your A-list character wave, right? They got to bring the heavy hitters in to get people interested in this line, so it's pretty much 6 of the most famous characters. Plus you get like Battle Cat and Prince Adam as, deluxe figures. So it really is shocking to me that Beastman was so hard to find. I thought, he's one of those characters that should have been pretty widely available, but he wouldn't be quite so popular as, say, Skeletor or Man-at-Arms. But I don't know. I had a hard time finding him. Maybe he was short-packed in the case or something. So yeah, there's the packaging. Let's go ahead and open it up now. Okay, here's our mini comic. And because this is the international one, unfortunately, there's no dialogue inside of it. You can see it's just the pictures, but it's your standard fare. Skeletor hatches an evil plan, he attacks, out-trends and He-Man, beats everyone up, day is saved. And then we get some more added cross-sells on the back. And now we get to see Beastman himself. You can see I got all his accessories attached, so he's got his chest armor on, he's got his shoulder armor, which you have to attach out of the package, and then he's holding his whip, which just has a soft little nylon rope-like whip bit on the end of it. Honestly, the base of it's kind of weird looking. Looks like a megaphone. Heck no, we won't go. It's protesting. So, overall, he's very cool looking, very bright orange, almost eye-searingly so. His body is comprised of mostly new parts, and I'll look at that more in depth here in a moment. One thing I've noticed is that for his shoulder armor, you got these straps that, they wrap around the inside of the bicep here, and they really collide with his torso when you try to bring his arms into the side. And I do worry that if you're, one to like really push that against there or rotate it a lot while they're down, you're probably going to start wearing away at this rubber. So in the interest of being safe, I would keep his arms out a little bit if you can help it, keep them from rubbing. Or at least if you do have them to the side, don't rotate them back and forth and, put too much friction on this, because I can see them falling apart over time. His posability is the same as most MOTU toys. He's got the double ball jointed head, universal shoulders, bicep swivel, really elbow swivel. He's got the elbow bend, articulated wrist that rotates and bends back and forth. It's got the waist swivel that goes all the way around. It's got his leg articulation, which is much better at going out than it is up or down, sadly. Got the knee bend, the knee swivel, the calf swivel, and then your ankle pivot and turning. So same stuff that like He-Man and Skeletor and all them have. But yeah, he is pretty cool because he's just a rather unique character. And he's one of the few that uses some sort of, cloth or fabric type accessory instead of just all plastic or rubber. All right, here we have a group shot with He-Man, and they're both just kind of stripped down to their bare parts. And I wanted to do that to show you just how Beastman's body and the parts that make that up compare to He-Man's. And, Beastman, he's an interesting case because he's one of the most unique figures out there as far as, which pieces comprise his torso and his limbs. And his parts did go on to be used by other figures, but not very often. So the chest is an all-new piece, and though similar to He-Man's, it is a new sculpt, and it's got all this fur sculpted into it, and also has it on the back. You can see that right there. So, you can see they definitely took the He-Man mold as a base and then just kind of added some stuff to it, some fuzzy bits. The upper arms, bicep, tricep area is the same as He-Man's, and then the lower arms are all unique. They're also very furry, and they have much smaller bracers on them. You can see that. And then he also has new hands. He has this one hand, which has a pretty bent finger, that has some roughage here meant to represent fur. Very similar to He-Man's, but still different. And then this other hand has like a glove over it, which I'm guessing it's because he holds the whip in that hand. So I guess that's just something he would wear to, I don't know, for added protection or something. The loincloth piece is exactly the same. The upper legs are the same. And then both pieces of the lower legs, this upper and lower piece, are all new. Just bare furry bits. And then the feet are very smoothed out. Now, you'd expect Beastman to have, like, I don't know, big clawed feet or something, kind of like Skeletor. But no, they actually look like he's wearing socks, which is a little odd. But they are unique pieces. They look like He-Man's, but they lack the strap molding on them. So, yeah, he is quite different. And again, the only figure I can think of that uses his body type, again, is probably Stratos. There might be more, but that's the only one I can think of right now. Here's an Evil Warriors group shot with our other Wave 1 evildoers. So on the left, we have Evelyn, and then on the right, we have the man himself, Skeletor. And these three really were, like, the main characters for the Evil Warrior side of the cartoon. Like, they are probably the most well-known out of all of them. They were there from day one, first episode, and probably had the most regular appearance on the show. I don't think there are any other henchmen that appeared more often than Evelyn and Beastman. And of course, Skeletor was in like every episode. So now having completed the wave, I can finally start having these really cool little scenes where your A-list good guys fight your A-list bad guys and, really just get to feel like an 80s kid again. Now, if you're hoping for a full Wave 1 group shot, stay tuned because I plan on doing a quick Wave 1 retrospective after this. It's not going to be a super long one like I do with my Transformers waves because there's only so many toys in each wave for MOTU. But I would like to do kind of an overview and give my thoughts on the wave as a whole. So, that'll be the next video to come out. And this completes our look at MOTU Origins Beastman. Overall, I really like this guy. He's got a lot going on. He's got quite a bit of accessories, right? He's got the chest armor, the shoulder armor, which is really neat, the whip that can actually move around. He's got a lot of unique body parts, which is a rarity in the MOTU line. His face, admittedly, is a little goofy looking. Not super crazy about it, but, that's pretty much how it looked back then, so they got to keep it accurate. And, yeah, he's a fun little toy. Why he's so difficult to track down, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe he was short-packed, maybe he wasn't. I don't know how the case breakup went. But he is really cool, and again, he's a very iconic character. So if you are starting a MOTU collection, especially one based off of the cartoon in which he was a very prominent character, you probably want to pick this guy up, if you can. I mean, he's been out for a while. He came out last year. He's pretty expensive on the secondary market. Not absurdly so, but you're probably going to pay $30 to $40-something for this guy. He's fairly up there. But if you have the cash to spend, you already have him, I would personally recommend picking him up. He is a lot of fun. Of course, that is just my take on Beastman, so now I want to know what you all think of him. Do you think he's a really cool figure? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? Would you be willing to pick him up for inflated prices, or is it pretty much like 15 or bust? I'd love to know everybody's feedback in the comments section. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to toss it a like. Let YouTube know you want to see more stuff like this. If you do want to see more like this, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you always get a heads up when I post something new. I thank you for joining me for this look at MOTU Origins Beastman. And with all that said, I will see you next time.